Garawal Rachayim.
Okay, we like to say all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. Alright, we're going to break down what the brothers just read in the Hebrew, alright? Ha Baryath, the Lashon Kodash, which is the holy tongue, the Hebrew. Alright, so he's gonna read it again, and we're gonna break down what he just read.
Alright. First word is kol.
Kol, which is a Hebrew word for all. Continue.
Tahala.
Tahala is a Hebrew word for praises.
La.
La is two.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua.
The name of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem, in the name of Yahushua. Alright, because when we pray in the name of Yahushua, because the Lord said, if you pray in my name, all things should be given to you. So that's why when we go to the Most High, we can't just pray to Yahweh, the Father Himself. We have to pray to the name of in the name of the Son, which is Yahushua. Continue.
Wa Kapal.
Wa is and, Kapal is double.
Kabawad.
Kabawad is honor.
Laha Zakhwan.
Laha Zakhwan is to the. La is to. Ha is the. Zakhwan is elders.
Shal.
Shal is of.
Gadawal.
Gadawal is great.
Rachayim.
Rachayim is millstone. So what the brother said was all praises to Yahweh, Wa Yahushua, and double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Alright, so through the Spirit, alright, we come through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua with the topic of the Hebrew. Alright, so the brother put some scriptures together, alright, he put some words together that we're going to go through so brothers out there can better understand our language, which is the pure language. Alright, the Lashon Kodash, alright, the holy tongue.
And through the Spirit, this site is going to be called, GMS Hebrew FYI, which is for your information to the elect of the nation of Israel, of course. Now, I was going through the blue letter. The Spirit jumped on me to just look up, certain words and names more particularly, and I looked up Ethiopia in the blue letter Bible. Now, this is the importance of knowing the Hebrew, unlike, when you learn from or you see what the hell Nate's cats are talking about and what Nate himself is talking about. Because the Hebrew is so important, man. And I looked up Ethiopia, and we're going to go into Ethiopia, which you can find that in, Psalms, the 68th chapter, and I believe it's like the 32nd verse. Psalm 68, and I believe it's the 32nd verse. Do you see it where it says Ethiopia?
No, it's not. You don't say Ethiopia. It says, it's 31.
31.
All right,
okay.
This is Psalm 68 and 31. Princes shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopia shall soon stretch our hands unto the Most High.
Right. Now, when going to that word, Ethiopia in the Hebrew is Kowash, right? And that's Cush. Alright, and the word means black, because what the Greeks call the Ethiopians, they call them Aethiops, which is burnt face, right? So you go on the blue letter, brother's going to have it on post-production, you're going to see everything I'm reading here. It says a people descended from Ham, because a lot of you Negroes think that you're Africans. Well, Cush, or Ethiopia, they're people descended from Ham, the land occupied by the descendants of Cush. So what is that saying? In that scripture, Ethiopia is not talking about Israelites. It's talking about Hamites. Okay? That's why the Hebrew is important, man. You go into that word, you go into that name, Ethiopia, you're going to find out that the Ethiopians are really Cushites. Alright? And it says located around the southern parts of the Nile, Ethiopia. Okay? So that's one for your information. Alright? That's why you should know the Hebrew, man. The Hebrew will open your eyes and make it clearer to you.
Give you a better understanding.
Better understanding, that's right. Alright, is that it?
Yeah.
You want those scriptures you want?
Yeah. I got, this is Zephaniah 3 and 9. For then will I turn to the people in pure language.
That's right. What's our pure language? What is that called? The Lashawan, which is the language. Right, and and the Quadash is the holy, right? the Lord said, the Most High said, He's going to turn into Israel to a pure language. The Lashawan Kodash was the Hebrew, all right, which comes from our forefather. He was Eber, and that's where the line of Hebrews came. Which Eber in the Hebrew is Ibar, which means past. The past language is Hebrew, which you get the word Hebrew Ibaria. All right, okay.
Read it one more time. For then will I turn to the people of pure language, that they may all call upon the name.
Who's the all? It's not talking about all the known world. It's not talking about the whole entire globe. Satan. You really trying to be sure that Satan coming through. It's talking about the nation of Israel. That's the all. Go ahead.
That they may all call upon the name of the Lord to serve Him with one consent.
Yeah. Who's that that's going to come to the name of the Lord and serve Him with one consent? The nation of Israel, the elect of the nation of Israel. It's in Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and the first verse. You know?
Okay, next scripture. Alright, get Genesis 14 and 13.
Okay. And another thing would led me to look up, not only that name, because we don't give a damn about no Ethiopians. We just making a point as far as the language sake. Because, yes, Hebrew is part of the doctrine. Alright? It's not a doctrine, it's a part of the doctrine. Alright? For you Nate clowns out there. Because the Lord deals with nations, man. The Lord deals with nations. But what is your nation? These dudes, Nate, they talking about the Israelites. Where does the Israelites come from?
And what's the language? What's the language of the Israelites? All right, because the brother is going to read the scripture. All right, because there's multiple families of the Hebrews. Like the brother went through the spirit. The word Hebrew comes to the word Ibar, which means for the past. All right, because those people kept the language of the past, the language that all men spoke at one time. All right, before the Lord separated the people and scattered their tongue and made them not understand each other. So in the beginning, everybody spoke Hebrew. All right, and that's the language of our people. Continue.
Right. This is Genesis 14 and 13. And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew.
Yeah, Abram the Hebrew. All right, which is our forefather. All right, so Abraham, his name was later turned to Abraham, which is father of a multitude.
That's right.
All right, Abram means exalted father.
That's right.
All right, so he was a Hebrew. So he spoke Hebrew. All right, which is the language of our forefathers, which is the pure language that is going to be given back to us fully. Because right now we speak it, we could read words here and there,
right.
But in the kingdom we're going to fluently speak Hebrew.
That's right.
All right, ain't gonna be no English, ain't gonna be no brother speaking no Spanish.
That's right.
No all these other bastard tongues that our people has grown to love. Because you got people who think that the language that they speak is the language of the Most High. All right? But in the kingdom, we're all going to speak Hebrew. Even the other nations is going to learn to love Hebrew. All right? It's going to go back to the world, the nations speaking Hebrew.
That's right. And I got it right here in the blue letter. The word Hebrew in that verse is Ibaria. Ibaria. Okay? And, that's what we said before. Same trying to get to my allergy, sneezing. But, that's what it is. Ibaria. Hebrew. Alright, what you got next?
Philippians 3 and 5. I get it.
Okay. Because this is all part of being don't we call ourselves Hebrew Israelites, so we at least got to know our language. At least, this is a rehearsal. We're not coming in the spirit of, look, you brothers got to speak it fluently. We're not coming in that spirit. Alright, good.
This is Philippians 3. This is Philippians 3 and 5. Circumcised the 8th day of the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law, a Pharisees.
That's right. What was that? That was Paul. All right. Paul knew the language. Hell, Paul knew Hebrew. He knew the Latin and he knew the Greek. Right?
I think just Hebrew and Greek.
He just knew Slakia. He knew the Hebrew and the Greek. All right, because he was a citizen. Hold on, but he was a citizen of Rome.
Yeah, he was a citizen of Rome.
Right. So hey, Paul knew the Hebrew and he was a citizen of Rome. So what do we gotta? We gotta know what the language is too. You know, that's the like the Elzo was going. That's the importance. Once you dig into these words and you dig into these scriptures, you're gonna have to know the meanings of these words and these languages, because the scriptures themselves, they were translated out of the Hebrew in the Greek for the most part. You know, that's why it's important, man.
This is Second Corinthians 11:22. Are they Hebrews? So am I.
Who's the Hebrews? Well, there's many Hebrews, like the brother stated earlier. All right, the Hebrews descended out of Shem, right? But the chosen line came through Eber and his sons, which I believe our facts said he was the guy after, not too far after Eber. All right, and he's the one that carried on that righteous line, so the chosen line, so to speak. All right, are they Hebrews? Well, what Hebrews? Because you know, the Moabites, they're Hebrews. The Ammonites, the Ishmaelites, and I'm going to get into Ishmael, Lord willing, soon. And they're all Hebrews. They're the Elamites, they're Hebrews.
Elam's not Hebrew.
Elam, okay.
They come out of Shem, but they're not
okay,
Hebrews.
so all right. Right, so those three that I just mentioned, they're Hebrews. But
Esau,
Esau, that's right. You know? But Paul is speaking of the Israelites. All right, because that's who Paul was ordained to go and teach. The Israelite foreigners that was among the other nations. All right, go ahead.
Okay. This is 2 Corinthians 11:22. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I.
Right. Meaning the chosen line. You see? So we got to know our language. You know, we got to know, if we call ourselves Israelites, we got to know our language. And that's just plain and simple.
That's right.
All right, now I got Ishmael right here, which is a big, you know, there used to be, because now the truth is coming out on a major scale. This whole, you know, big stink about Ishmael being the chosen line. Well, that's madness. That's not what it is, and you know, brothers know that. But this is Ishmael, right? And in the Hebrew, it's Yashemai Allah. Yah is he, Shemai is hear or heard, and Allah is power. So he heard of God. He heard of the power, right? That don't make him the chosen line. Because when we read it in the history with Hagar and Abraham and Sarah, she was the bondwoman. She was cast out. The Lord heard Ishmael in that situation, that he was going to set him up to be a great nation. Which, you know, if the brothers, you know, you get that real quick. This is why, this is the only reason why Ishmael was heard of the Most High, or heard of God. All right, not to be the chosen. All right. But this is why he was heard. Now, the Lord deals with nations. We know that. Ishmael is a nation today. And we're going to find out what nation is Ishmael today. Just let me know when you got it, bro. Yeah, you know? Because, man, you got a lot of false prophets out there, you know, namely Nate. You know, these guys don't go into these type of things. Go ahead, bro.
I'm going to start at verse 6. This is Genesis 16:6. But Abraham said unto Sarah, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand, do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. And the angel of the Lord found her by the fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, whence comest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself unto her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude.
You see? Because the Most High, this is in the beginning. Most High was setting up the nations. So he made a promise, all right, that the son that came out of her will be a multitude of people. All right, go ahead.
And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael.
Hold on, but where did the angel say that? You know, like the angel said to Mary, he's gonna be the savior of his people. He's gonna be a great child. He didn't say nothing like that. He just said, look, you're gonna have a son, and you're gonna name him Ishmael. All right, that's all. That's it on you Ishmaelites out there. All right, go ahead.
Because the Lord have heard thy affliction.
That's it. Because the Most High set it up to where Yah would be a multitude of people for the sake of Israel. Because you Ishmaelites, all right, are going into slavery, and we're gonna find out who you are. And it says this is on the blue letter, by the way. So if you don't believe us, you're gonna see it. It says Yashma Allah, or Ishmael, the ancestor of many Arabian tribes. Now, Arabian means simply mixed.
Yeah, from the Hebrew word Arab.
Okay, it means mixed. So Ishmael had a bunch of children that you would call, mixed, right? Now, this is the point. Arabs descended from Ishmael. Now, I know you brothers out there, if you up on it, you went to your local, Arab store around here, or whatever neighborhood you live in, and you call them Ishmael, they were like, yeah. They'll admit to you. They'll say, yeah, I'm Ishmael. They know who our people are, man. All right, but they're not the chosen. They're heathens. All right? Arabs descended from Ishmael, man. The Lord deals with nations, and these Arabs and these Ethiopians, they're going to be slaves. All right? They're going to be slaves. They're our inheritance in the world, in the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua when we set back up. All right? So, you got anything else on?
Yeah.
That's the only way that the Lord's going to deal with you other nations, in slavery. All right, not being the chosen seed, because the scripture said, "In Isaac shall thy seed be called." It didn't. The angel didn't say, "And Ishmael shall your seed be called." Man, it was simply because he, his mother was in distress and he was still in the womb, and the Most High set him up to be a nation.
Yeah, because for Abraham's sake, Abraham had love for Ishmael, but he just wasn't the chosen.
That's right.
All right. So for Abraham's sake, the Most High allowed Ishmael to be multiplied and become a nation. All right, but he's not the chosen nation. The chosen nation came through Isaac, and through Isaac, through Jacob. That's all right, because Jacob is the father of the 12 tribes. All right, the father of the 12 sons who became the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
What was that? I think it was in Acts. It spoke to him in the Hebrew tongue.
I think it's like 17.
Yeah, see if we get that.
All right.
All right. So that's why we starting off with this lesson. Basic lesson, just to get it started on the importance of knowing the Hebrew. Because even in the Apocrypha it says that in its pure language the words are more powerful. But when it's translated, it loses the force that it had. All right, because America, the so-called English language, there's so much ambiguity with it. All right, and so much things mean this and that that it dilutes. All right, it dilutes the scriptures a little bit. All right, because in America you have 3 words, they all sound the same. All right, spelled different but have different meanings. You have there and there.
Yeah.
You have what else words are like that? You have
shit, man.
You have there and there. Here and here.
Right.
All right. Here, H-E-A-R, which means to hear with your ears, and here, H-E-R-E, it means like you're in a position, a point of position. Here, I'm over here, you over there.
Yep.
All right. So, but the Hebrew language is straight to the point. All right, and direct. So, all right. So when you read in the Hebrew, it gives you a better understanding of the scriptures, because like the elders always bring down. When it says speak to the children of Israel, all right, the word in the Hebrew is not children, because there's no Hebrew word for children.
That's right.
The word in the Hebrew is bun, right, which is sons, Yasha'Allah. Bunyam, Yasha'Allah, which is sons. Yum makes it plural. Bun is son. Yum makes it plural. So the sons of Israel, all right, speak to the sons of Israel. Yasha'Allah. Yah, he, Shah, Prince, Allah, power. Because a lot of people, they hear the word Allah, and the first thing they think, oh, that's a Muslim word. But we just went through the scriptures on Ishmael. Ishmael was a son of a Hebrew, which was Abraham. All right? So naturally, he spoke Hebrew. All right? That's the language that Ishmael spoke. And and the Arabs, all right, the modern day so-called Arabs, all right, their language is derived from the Hebrew. That's why they use the word Allah, which means God or power. But its origin is a Hebrew word. It's not Arabic, all right? is a Hebrew word.
All right, I got it for you, bro.
Bring it out.
All right, this is Acts 21, 39 and 40. And Paul said, I am a man of which am a Jew of Tarsus, a city in Cilicia.
Yeah, Paul said he was a Jew because he was from the kingdom of Judah. Because when you go through the history, the 12 tribes were split into 2 kingdoms. You had the southern kingdom, which was the kingdom of Judah, all right, and you had the northern kingdom, which was the kingdom of the 12, the other 10 tribes. All right, which you had what we call the kingdom of Israel, which we would call today the Latin tribes and the Native American tribes. All right, continue.
A citizen of no mean city, and I beseech thee, suffer me to speak unto the people. And when he had given him license, Paul stood on the stairs and beckoned with the hand unto the people. And when there was made a great silence, he spake unto them in the Hebrew tongue.
Yeah, he spake unto them in the Hebrew tongue. Lashawan Ibar. Lashawan Ibar, yes. All right, the Hebrew tongue. All right. So he spoke to them in the Hebrew tongue. He didn't speak to them in the Latin tongue. All right, because he was speaking to Israelites, and the Israelites spoke Hebrew. All right. Part of us being discontinued from our heritage was losing our language. All right. That was part of our discontinued from our heritage, losing our language. So by losing that language, we lost the name of the Lord. All right. Which is Yahweh, the Father, Yahweh Shai, the Son. Continue.
Right. That was it.
That was in that.
Yeah, and that leads us going into the name Shem. All right, which Shem is our forefather, right? And the word Shem, all right, is the Hebrew Shem, which means name. That's what we say in the name of the Lord and His Son, Yahweh Bahashem, which means name, okay? And that's one of our forefathers. Do we have anything on Shem? We ain't got nothing on Shem, right? Shem, because that's where the name started to. That was the man that the Most High said, that's where my name is going to be. All right, that's where I'm going to put my name, on Shem in His mind. Okay, just let me know when you got it.
Keep speaking.
Because that's where the Lord says He's going to put His name.
Okay, I got it right here. This is Genesis 10 and 21.
Mm-hmm.
Unto Shem, also the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japhet, the elder, even to him were children born. I'm not sure, you read this earlier?
It's just Shem right there, right?
Yeah,
you got it?
yeah.
Yeah, Shem. Because the reason why, basically, Shem being the forefather of the Hebrews, right? He said he was the eldest son of Noah and progenitor of the Semitic tribes, right? Which we mentioned earlier. Which basically, I just wanted to get the word Shem, which just means name.
That's right.
All right.
So go ahead.
Because the Most High set Shem up to say basically to where He would put His name. He would put His name in the line of Shem. All right. That's where His name will be known, in Shem.
Yeah, because Shem had many children. We're gonna read some of the children of Shem, but the line, the chosen line went through Eber. All right. So we're gonna read verse 22. The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram.
Right, and out of that, I believe Arphaxad was the one that it would carry on. Go ahead.
That's right. And the children of Aram, Uz, Hul, Gether, Mash, and Arphaxad beget Salah, and Salah beget Eber.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, that's it on that.
All right, so there you go. All right. So that's where the Most High started to, bring in His name, basically putting where He would have His name at, which was in Shem. All right.
And matter of fact, I think, hold up.
Let's get all of me off that bone. Because hey, man, we're coming close to the end, and the Most High is about to move on America with some swift fury. So you gotta gear up, man. Through the Spirit, put on that spiritual warrior garment and just be ready to go all out, man.
Yes, man. You could go on to
All right. So that leads me to the next part, which is this guy wasn't a Hebrew, so basically, because the blue letter does go off, Elam, okay. Basically, they have which Elam in the Hebrew means is pronounced Ayalam. We got a brother in the camp named Ayalam, Yahweh. His name is not Elam Judah. It's Ayalam, meaning young, right? So the blue letter says it is eternity, right? If you know the Hebrew, when you were familiar with the Lord's Prayer, we say La'ai Walamyam, which means forever. La'ai meaning two, or if you put it together in a word, it'd be you clump it together, it'd be I Walamyam, meaning forever, right? So eternity, when in Hebrew to say eternity or forever, is I Walamyam, all right, not Ayalam. So that's off, you know. So that's where you gotta know where to pick out the bones, you know, in the blue letter. Okay. Now I went into the word eternity, and it says it's it's pronounced I, not Ayalam. I didn't say Ayalam. It's just eternity. But you know the blue letter goes off. So it's the root word of eternity is Ida, which is to pass over or to go on. So this is when when you study, you get into the words, the Hebrew more particularly, you got to know where they go off, you know. So on that, you see how the Hebrew is pretty much important, man. You know, and through the Spirit, Lord willing, we're gonna keep coming, you know, with GMS Hebrew FYI, you know, for the edification of the elect. You know, brother, you got anything else?
All right, that's pretty much it for now. So we're gonna close off the same way we started. So I'm gonna read it and you explain, you interpret what it means. All right. Call Fahala La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Kapal Kabawad La Hazakwan Shal Gadawal Rachayim.
That means all praises to the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the elders, a great millstone.
Shalom.
Shalom.